These are the solutions for the first 17 problems on the Work Keys Applied Mathematics practice test. So when you go to take the Work Keys tests, you will have 34 questions in 55 minutes. This practice test has 33 questions. So you'll have this formula sheet that you can use to look things up, and I recommend that you use it, and that will be distributed to you right before the test. So problems 1, 2, and 3. The way this test works is you'll have very easy problems to do, and then you'll have some problems that are a bit challenging towards the end of this. And they basically send you your Work Keys Readiness Certificate, which is, that gives you like 3 ratings. I think the highest is like a gold rating or a platinum rating, and then silver and bronze, something like that. So try your best. It does not count for anything in college, but try your best, because you never know when your employers might say, hey, can you give me your Work Keys Readiness Certificate? Just saying. All right, problem 1. You want to know how much change you get back from $15 budget if you spent $9.45. So subtract. By the way, you can use a calculator on this, and I do recommend it. So estimated elapsed time. What I do is I usually go past the time I want to go to if I have to. So 11:45 to 2:45 is 3 hours, and then I back up 25 minutes to get to 2 hours and to get to 2:20. Okay, so you're at 2:45 with 3 hours, back up 25 minutes to get to 2:20, and so that's 2 hours and 35 minutes. A 30% increase profit. So you want to multiply the $200 by 1.3. That's your multiplier with percent increase. Remember how that works. So $260 is what you want to take in. These are just 2 different ways of approaching it. Divide that by 8 crates, and $32.50 is what you want to charge per crate. So 2 of the crates did not, you threw 2 of them away. So that's why you divide by 8. Okay, problems 4 and 5. So this is a common problem, figuring out square yardage. So 120 times 3 to get the yards, 540 times 3. I'm sorry, square footage, my bad. 120 yards times 3 feet to get 360 feet. 540 yards times 3 feet to get 1,620 feet. Multiply that and then divide by 43,560 square feet in an acre. Okay, and then that'll give you how many acres you have. So 13.39 acres. All right, so here you're basically just taking 12 and 1/15 and subtracting 9 1/3. So there's a lot of different, this is on a graphing calculator series of entries that you can do. And so 2 and 11/15 longer was your first run, your second run, excuse me, than your first run. Problem 6, so you want to purchase 24 ounces of canned corn, and you want to know what the difference is by purchasing the less expensive. So you need to purchase 3 cans of the 8 ounce, 2 cans of the 24 ounce. It's better to do the 2 cans of the 24 ounce because you save 12 cents. That's always a thing in stores. You want to buy the larger quantity as far as like per ounce or per pound costs. Problem 7, so we have straight percent here. So 1150 out of 8,325. And that's 13.138, which is 13.8%. Number 8, this is an average. Okay, so on average, so you want to do the sum over the count being 5 days. And so 6.4 hours is that average. So you can see the first few problems are pretty simple. So you overbooked, you 220 are booked for a 200 passenger flight. So what percent were you overbooked? So you can do 20 over 200. That's probably the easiest thing to do because you went 20 over, divided by the original. This is another way to think about it. 200 plus something times 200, some percent times 200 gives you 220. And then solve it for x by subtracting 200. Remember, you have the answer choices here, so, and it's percentage, so you got to do 0.009, 0.011, 0.019, 0.10, 0.20 when you try that in to increase 200 by that amount. Here's another elapsed time problem. So you're starting at 11:40, 5 hours in the future, puts you to 4:40, so that's a difference of 25 minutes. So subtract 25 minutes from 5 hours, and 4 hours and 35 minutes. Problem 11, you can look this up on your trusty sheet. So 9/5 C plus 32. And then substitute in for C, which is very high Celsius temperature. Obviously, when you come up with 599 degrees Fahrenheit, that is a very high temperature. So just converting 315 degrees Celsius to Fahrenheit. Problem 12, pretty simple, but you got to know to look up the amperage, the watts, the volts. The formula, amps is watts over volts. Substitute in, crunch it out. Problem 13. Okay, so $4.50 a pound, and you want to buy 3 pounds. Pretty straightforward. And then problem 14, we have a significant increase in the difficulty of the computation that you have to do. So you need to figure out the square footage that you're working with. So you have 2 walls that are 15 by 9, 2 walls that are 18 by 9. You multiply that out, add it together, subtract 36 square feet. You end up with 558 square feet. Divide by 9 square feet in a square yard. So you're dealing with 62 yards squared. So that comes from right there. The wallpaper is 1 yard wide. So what's the length you need to buy? And that's key. So if that was 2 yards wide, you'd divide by 2 and you'd be buying 31 yards. So you divide by 1, 62 yards of length to buy. So note that that definitely is quite a bit more. Okay, so here you want to do 2 times 18.25 times 8.5, again, giving you square footage. 1 can of paint covers 100 square feet. You need 3.1, but you can't buy 3.1. So you have to round up to 4. Problem 16, kind of a goofy situation. So you sum up the total of your meal, $28, and you do a 7.5% tax on that. So multiply 28 times 1.075. Add $5 gratuity, $35.10. So the meal does not exceed $40. So you don't get to take 10% off. I was just showing what you, if it hit 40, the 10% discount that you would do. Problem 17. So you're buying $18 per foot times 6 feet tall. You're splitting that with 4 roommates, $27. So these are the first 17 problems on the WorkKeys applied math test that you will be taking as part of your M-STEP test.